Hello and welcome back to RailRoads Online. So today we are gonna finish our plan from yesterday, which was to take the James J. Hill back up to the iron mine and have this one set up for wood up there. Although we probably should have used it to bring some iron out first, but hey. We may be building a couple of new locomotives for that stuff anyway. Brakes, boom boom. We need some wood in this one. Open that up. Fire. More fire. And that's good. That's good. Water level is good. Speaking of which, just 5,400. If anybody knows, is that like gallons, liters, gallons of water, or weight of water? Maybe it's pounds. I don't know. Anybody have any idea? Feel free to leave that in the comments below because I really have no idea. I know it's a running out commodity, but I do not know what it is. If it's gallons, I'm assuming it's gallons, being these are American locomotives. One would think that that's gallons, but it could be pounds or something of water as well. I just actually have no idea. But we will let the fire temperature build up on this one, and then we are going to run it back up the hill where it is gonna stay to be the wood locomotive. We have enough money now that we can go back and fill in some of the locomotives that we did not have when we just wanted to get towards the end of the game. Turbo speed. Still can't believe I found that. I know it didn't used to do that, so I don't know when it started doing that. But you get turbo speed in the water, so that's... If you need to get across here in a hurry, go through the water, because it's definitely faster than walking on the land, at least for now. Check the load. We haven't actually had, well, I don't know, I don't want to say we haven't had anything on here since we just have had a lot of problems with trains lately, so we'll make sure that everything is on the up and up. We have a couple that are definitely backwards that I really wish they weren't. It's kind of nice when you have all the brakes in the same spot, you just know where to go. You start playing around with that. These have a lot more room on them than the old cars did. I don't think there's any way you were actually going to share the car with the load in the old ones. So, but you can now. I do like these a little better. I notice they have slots for the stakes, but they don't have them on the end. Which the ones in the update did. I don't know if they're leaving them there or if they're taking them away. I think they had maybe taken them away in the beta branch. I'm not sure. I have not looked back into the betas too much since leaving it, just enough to see the new Heisler. But definitely am not leaning towards going back to the beta branch. I can say that now without a doubt. I really don't know. Like I said, the only way I would consider going back to the beta branch, you'll know because I'll do a setup video for it where I'll build track, pull all the trains somewhere where they're decent with each other and then just spread them out. I thought about you could just spread them all out where they are sitting, but I don't think I would do that. I think I'd have to go through building a a yard to bring everything down into. Which I am still considering doing. It just kind of depends on how long we go without an update to the main branch of the game, which, you know, hopefully won't be too super long at this point. It would be nice to get a new mainline update. Not that that won't be a lot of work, because we get the new splines in the main line, and that'll mean pretty much relaying all of the track, which, you know, then you're re-railing everything, make a new track. It's kind of like starting over, I guess, but nowhere near as much work, really. Starting from scratch with none of the, with no money, no locomotives, no rolling stock, that would be a whole different animal. Takes you a fair amount of loads when you first get started, just to get off zero. So there you go. Just what it is. Alright. Rolling on down the hill. This is one of the coolest places to lay track in all the game. I really like this. This track was fun. At least coming around that part of it. I don't think that'll do anything other than slam on the brakes. I don't think there's any chance it's going to start backing up with all the brakes on and all those cars. I know that was a pretty last minute decision to hit the brake. But I also know going downhill with this much weight, they do not like to just stop. None of the locomotives just like to, you know, stop. We have the, you know, these are all old school mechanical brakes. There's no air brakes or anything on these locomotives, at least currently. It does look from some of the remodeling that we are going to get that at some point, because they put the air brake hoses and stuff on some of the locomotives. But as of current, we don't have any of that. So when you're stopping in the game now, you are just stopping with the locomotive. And that can definitely take you a minute to stop. So this is strangely chugging along. I don't know. Here's to hoping this all works. Here we just kind of belt it open. We should get a pretty good slowdown here on the hitch of the bridge. Definitely changes incline there. Should slow but not stop, unless something changed, and then we should get to just kind of steady climbing here. So well, all the brakes are off, I think. All the ones back there are off. We know that. We double checked. Not a light load by any stretch of the word. That's for sure. This load takes a fair amount just to get it up the hill. But then knowing what we learned afterwards, you know, obviously none of these, the gradient is not accurate or consistent if you set it in a variable Unless you said it, you know, there's a way to do it. I'm not going to try to explain it right now because it's somewhat of a pain, but there is a way apparently to get consistent grade. I've never gone through the process, but I have been explained the process. Probably would do that in future builds. Had no idea at the time, but you know, you can see this one, and I always said it when I laid it that it's not consistent, but depending on the length of the piece you place and the incline you have it set on when you place it, it gives you varying amounts of incline, which apparently are basically never actually what you have it set at. So if you have that set, like this is, most of all this stuff was quote unquote 3% grade, but it, you know, it's going to be upwards of 4 and downwards of 2 in most cases, but 3 is rare. These we got a little probably smoother because they were laid more invalid chunks and plugged in it. But then, as you can see in here, some of these we have a few flat spots in there every so often, just coming down the hill. I did that partially for speed up the hill and just part of making it work, really. This track we did really lay. We laid the first part as you come out of that valley, coming up to the big, you know, where we had that big bridge we just went over, and then the rest of it we all laid going downhill. So we just knew we had to match up, excuse me, at that valley cut. Oh, I thought I was seeing a train there. Alright, let's see if we can get you to come to a rest. That one should be on the outside track. Wait a minute. Yeah, that one's gotta be on the outside rail. So we'll just bring it in on that rail. I know back when we built this, we weren't exactly sure what we were going to do or how we were going to have things going on up here. We used to have a loop turnaround in here, and it was just, that was going to be the idea, and then I decided to just kick this across here. So then the loop being in here was just an absolute waste. I mean, there was weren't going to turn anything around up here because on this layout, everything pretty much comes up this hill and down that way. There is no really running this backwards. You can run it backwards with the climax because I've done it, but I don't run anything in that direction. There's no real point in running anything in that direction, so we don't do it. We do know that everything up here is pretty much full, so this one is just kind of going to be extra storage for when we actually get around to using it. There we go. Yeah, 30 on that, 30. Everything up here is pretty much full. Boom, brakes on. We will turn the brake on that one. And then, thanks to some advice from a viewer and the whole, watching how these things load in, we will come back here on this one, being that we know it's going to sit for a while, and we will lock down the brakes there. That way we don't lose any locomotives off the back, or not locomotives, but we don't lose any loaded cars off of the back. Is going to be the plan there. Well, Heisler is set up to make an iron run down the hill or drive out to the mountain. I'm pretty sure we're going to drive this one out to the mountains. So I don't think we're going to do, I guess I could turn around and just drive that one out there now, but I don't think so. So I think we'll just call that one an episode, wrap it up there, having delivered the James J. Hill back up to the iron mine to do iron work. And we'll call it an episode. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you get a chance, like, share, subscribe. Subscriptions are free, but they sure do help the channel.